All right. Live on YouTube, live on the Facebook, as some of your parents might say. Coffee in hand, ready to go. Welcome to another edition, Friday morning edition of TG's Morning Stream, the casual Friday edition, titled, Are You Down for the Struggle? On Fridays, sometimes what we'll do is do a casual Friday edition of the morning stream. And Down for the Struggle is something that I have struggled with over the years and overcome, or am currently struggling with, to let you know that it's not all roses. There are struggles that you will go through, but doesn't mean that, ideally you learn from your struggles. You get better, you get stronger, you get more adept at your journey towards success. So this morning's Down for the Struggle topic is what you may see if you read in the description on the YouTube side or over on the Facebook side. If you look at in the comments, you'll see my points of contact. And at the bottom of that, it says I do a lot of things. It lists some of the things that I do: commercial real estate, cryptocurrency, branding, web development, studying and teaching myself how to code and build websites and whatnot, and do all that stuff, and having a good time doing it. But that is a good example of some of the things that I struggle. One of the things that I struggle with even today, to this very day. I'm kind of riddled with ADD, and I am all over the map. We've talked, some of my earlier videos, we talked about my sister put together this little kind of annual goal planner book that she sells online, and there's descriptions to it, links to it in the description of previous videos. And it helps kind of keep me focused on what I'm going on, the goals that I'm working on, things that I'm working on, and it keeps me from getting too scatterbrained. And it will happen. Whatever shiny red ball happens to roll past the door of my office, which is always open here at the building, I will oftentimes go chasing after. Not that it's always a bad thing. Tenant next door has a leaky AC unit this morning, so I'm going to go over there and address that and get that put back together for him, so he can take comfort in the fact that his air conditioner will not leak. But those kind of things are just stuff that comes up. But whatever it is, whatever shiny red ball happens to be rolling by my brain at the time, will oftentimes catch my attention and throw me off, get me off focus. So having that planner helps keep me focused, helps me to deal with that ADD, that constant pull to go in a different direction. And one of the things that oftentimes happens as a result of that is I move too quickly, or make a decision too fast. And my dad was very very instrumental in helping me with this lesson, in that he made decisions way too slow. He stayed in businesses way longer than he should have, when he should have gotten out. He did things, he missed opportunities because he moved too slow and too methodically, and spent too much time over analyzing, but in some cases ended up doing very well for him. It kind of, between him and I, it was one of the things where we always butted heads on, was I wanted to move, I wanted to jump, I wanted to go, and he always wanted to pull back and do something, do a little more research and do this, that, and the other. And on many occasions, like buying cars or something, I would be out shopping for a car, and I would find a deal, and I would run the deals that I came across by him, and he would say, "Why do you always just buy the first one that you come across?" And I would be like, "What makes you think this is the first one I came across? It's the first one I showed you. It's not the first one I came across." Or maybe it was the first one I came across. And I said, "Well, what happens if the first one I come across is a really, really good deal?" So it was a constant struggle. But I think between the two of us, we kind of balanced each other out. Now, he passed away in 2001, so I haven't had his guidance and tutelage since that time. But I still remember a lot of the lessons, and ignore them most of the time. But they do kind of bubble to the surface occasionally, and give me some good guidance and some good heads up on what to do, or what not to do in some cases. And it's interesting the way that that works, because I like with the cryptocurrency stuff that I do, the trading that I do, I oftentimes find myself ready to make a trade, ready to do something, and then I will wait just a little bit. And what oftentimes happens is, the price goes down a little bit after I waited, and it's just a kind of an interesting little game that I play with myself. Sometimes I will just go in and pull the trigger, and then come back later and see that the price has fallen. But that's not necessarily a bad thing, because that particular market, the cryptocurrency market, that is very volatile, moves around a lot, and a 5 or 6 or 8 or 10% swing in a day is not at all out of the norm in that market, in that environment. So it's interesting. But if you struggle with that, there's a couple of things that you can do to kind of pace yourself or guide yourself in those moments. The business that I'm in now, the new business that we've started this year, which is the CFM group, what sponsors all these videos. That business is in buying the mobile homes, and restoring them, and then creating those notes, and having those real high yielding notes, paying out every month for a number of years, that creates the cash flow for us. And one of the things that I did not think, I won't say didn't think of, but I didn't think would transpire in this particular way, manifest itself in this particular way, was that this past week, as you know, if you've watched the videos, we just closed our first deal. And I've been back in Richmond and working on this and marketing it, and doing the ads, and I had a game plan all laid out and everything. Been doing that since March. So March, April, May, June, July, August, 6 months. Did not think it was going to take me 6 months to do our first deal, but now I have over 30 parks that I'm familiar with in the state that I'm working with. I've got good relationships with a number of those managers, and as these deals start to come up, as they realize that they've got a resource that they can just pick up the phone and call, and if you have a problem unit in your park. And the easiest way to deal with that is one phone call to me, and I will come down there, and I will buy the home. I'll do the rehab in the home. Sometimes they just sign them over to me, just sign the home over to me free and clear, and then I do all the rehab, and they get they get a good tenant in there. We find an approved buyer. We get a good tenant in there. They get their lot rent rolling, and it's a one-shot deal for them. So it's a very easy process for them to reach out to us, to the CFM group, and say, hey, we have this home in this park, or this home in this park. We want you to take care of that. But I didn't expect it to take me 5 months or 6 months to do our first deal. And that in the past may very well have or maybe even in what you're trying to do, what you're trying to start. It may sour you when you work and work and work and work, and it seems like nothing's happening, but really things are happening. You're building those relationships. You're finding, in my case, I'm finding the parks that I want to work in and the parks that I don't want to work in. I'm putting the word out there and putting the marketing materials out there that say, hey, if you have a home you want to sell, you need cash fast, you can come to us, and we can solve that problem for you. So you're building those relationships. You're putting all this effort in, and it's like a train, like a locomotive. It starts out really slow, and these wheels don't turn very fast. And as you build momentum, as you build your network, and people start to realize, oh, that deal went really smooth. We can just call Tom, we can call CFM Group, and they will take care of everything from it's a one phone call deal. I don't have to deal with contractors and this all that. So then those wheels start spinning faster and faster and faster, and eventually you've got it to the point where the phone is ringing every week, and people are coming to you and bringing you deals, and that's how you get to where you want to be in this particular business, whatever your business is, whether it's selling light bulbs or hairstylist or insurance sales or whatever the case may be. You may seem, or selling houses, you may seem like it's just a grind. I'm doing it. I'm doing everything they're telling me to do, and nothing's happening. Well, something is happening. It's just happening behind the scenes. And you may have heard stories in situations where you see someone that, or you may know people in your life, and it just seems like all of a sudden, man, things are boom, 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 boom. You say, man, you really hit it big. It just happened overnight, like nothing. And those people, if you talk to them, they'll say, no, it didn't happen overnight. It took me 3 years or 5 years or 10 years or 12 months or whatever, of constant work, constant grind, showing up every day, doing the same things every day, every week, week in, week out, month in, month out, before we started to see the fruit of that. It's like a band. I've known a number of people who have had bands over the years, and some very successful, some not so successful. But these bands, they play these clubs. You see these people that are overnight successes. I just watched a documentary on Amy Winehouse. What a gifted and incredible talent she was, and lost her way too soon. So sad. If you get a chance on Netflix, go check out Amy, the documentary. Really good. But these artists and performers and whatnot, they will work, and they play these little dive clubs, and they go on the road in their van, and it's just there's no team of people helping them load and unload equipment. There's no anything. It's the gig starts at 9 o'clock, and we show up at 7 o'clock, and we unload the van, and we set everything up, and we sound check, and we do everything on our own, and then we play the gig, and then when we do the last song and do the encore, and everybody else goes home at 2 or 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, what do? Do we go home? No, we break down all the equipment. We pack up all the equipment. We put all the equipment back in the van, and we start on our trip to the next city where we're going to play, the next night. And they do this, week in, week out, month in, month out, year in, year out. And then all of a sudden, boom, they're there. And it's like, wow, this band was an overnight success. No, they were not an overnight success. They were a success that was years in the making. And nobody sees. I went to see my buddy Rusty last Friday night. And he's going to be joining. Has joined the Crane Brothers band full time now. But he took a break in the middle of the second set because he didn't know all the songs yet. He hasn't gotten all the songs down yet that were on the set list. And Rusty's a great guitar player, but all the people see who go to see him play is him up on stage doing his riffs and doing his thing. They don't see the hours in the garage at home, just running over the same riffs, the same songs, the same, just the same songs, same riffs, same songs, same riffs over and over and over and over and over again. Scales and boring, monotonous stuff over and over and over again, just to build that muscle memory, to build those calluses, to build that endurance, to be able to do that, to be able to show up on a Friday night and tear it up and have the crowd go wild. It's hours, days, weeks, months in the garage, all alone, no crowd, no fans, no, maybe Susan brings him a cold beverage once in a while, but nobody out there cheering him on or anything. It's just you got to put in the work. You got to put in the work to get the results, and that's kind of the message this morning. That it's not overnight. It's not instant. It happens over a period of time. And if you're someone like me, with the ADD factor, kind of circling back to where we started here on the down with the struggle, that's something that you can struggle with. You can see even me. I mean, I play the guitar and I haven't picked up my guitar now in I can't even say I don't even think I can honestly say I play the guitar at this point. I haven't picked it up in probably 4 or 5 years. But it's just a constant practice. You got to touch it every day. You got to do it every day. You got to do a little bit here and a little bit there all the time to work on it and to keep those skills intact. Otherwise, you'll hit a plateau. Like I always do when I get back on the guitar, I'll get to a point, I hit a plateau, and I'll be practicing and practicing and practicing. It doesn't seem like I'm getting any better or making any progress whatsoever. And then I'll just keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it, and then all of a sudden it kind of breaks, and you feel this. You see this kind of exponential increase in your skills, your ability, whether it's playing guitar or business or whatever. It's you put in that work, you put in that effort, and you feel like you're on this plateau and you're not really making any progress. But you keep at it, you keep at it, you keep at it, you keep at it, and then boom, you kind of hit this next level, and it's very rewarding when you do, but it's a struggle to get there. So that's my message this morning: is don't give up too soon. Don't stay in the game too long either. If it's a bad decision or a bad move, you got to know when to be able to get out and turn it around and move on to the next. But so it's a kind of a balancing act, a fine line there. But that's the message for this morning, for this morning's edition of TG's Morning Stream, Casual Friday edition. Are you down for the struggle? So with that, I hope you all have a great weekend. Thank you so much for watching. If you find the video is of value, then then share it, like it. Give me the hearts and the shares on Facebook, on the YouTube side. Subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know when we go live with one of our videos. And thanks a bunch. We'll see you guys on Monday, if not before. Oh, I'm going to be trying something new. I want to do some pre-recorded videos, and I've been struggling with this, another struggle for the day, but I've been struggling with this a little bit, just trying to figure out how to do that and everything. So I just kind of blew it off and hadn't paid much attention to it. And I just do live streams. All of my stuff is just live stream of consciousness kind of stuff. But so I might be working a little bit later today. I'm putting a pre-recorded video together. So keep your eyes out for that. If you get a notification, feel free to pop over and check that out. But with that, I will leave you for this weekend, for this week rather, and have a great weekend, everybody. And remember, doesn't matter whether you think you can or you think you can't. You are right. All right. Have a great week, guys. God bless.